And I would just feel like this hopeless kid just fighting to protect myself and stand up for myself, just defending myself. And then I'd go to bed and I would have those moments where I would cry. And then you know how there's like when you're falling asleep, there's this moment where you are kind of awake, where you're aware what's going on, but you're not moving because you're falling asleep. And that is when my grandma would come in my room because she didn't want to openly show me the support. She didn't openly want to be there and say, I know this is painful. I know this is hurting you. So she would show up while I was, when she thought I was asleep, and tears would still be on my face. And she would wipe them off and like touch my head with love and try to soothe me.
It's one of those moments. You've already started to take yourself through that, but one of those moments that you're sitting there in bed, and even before grandmother comes in, and you're sitting there and you're feeling like, okay, I'm unworthy. So in that moment, do you have a moment in your mind?
Yeah.
Okay.
Many, actually.
Yeah. So in that moment, I am an unworthy child. Can you 100% know that that's true?
No.
And what does it cost you in that moment to believe that and to invest in that?
Everything.
What happens to you?
I mean, there's a part of me that knows I'm this very capable, strong, smart person, but I will never step into that power.
Yeah.
I will never do it.
Yeah.
Even till this day, I won't.
And what does it feel like in your body when you start thinking, I am an unworthy child? What did that feel like at the time?
It just, I just felt paralyzed. Yeah. Helpless. I couldn't do anything to help myself. I had no control. I couldn't say, this is what I want to wear to school, and I could wear that to school. I had absolutely no say in my life since I was a kid. So not only was I feeling stuck, I also didn't feel like I had a way out.
Yeah. And then telling this narrative that I'm unworthy, and that's why this is happening, just makes you even more helpless, right? Even more frozen in that period of time.
Yep.
And just for a moment, if you can imagine, like without that idea, and you look back at you as this child, without that story that you're an unworthy child, what do you see, or how do you see yourself instead?
You know, it's funny that you asked me that because I do a lot of that now. I am a babysitter on the side, and I take care of a lot of kids. I have a family that I'm with right now, and the kids, they mean the world to me. They really do. There's a 5-year-old girl, she's very close to the age that I was when I was feeling like this. And she is just this beautiful, beautiful spirit. And I just, sometimes she'll have her crying spells when she's disappointed or not happy. And I see myself in her, even though she's not anywhere, like she's not going through anything I did. But she does feel like, oh, I wish mom and dad were here longer. They just went to work. I wish they could spend more time with me. When are they coming home? And then sometimes when I'm putting her to bed at night, she's like sad. She's like, I want mom, And I see myself in her because I wanted that. Yeah. Any kid would want that.
Yes.
And so I remember, and I speak to her as if I'm speaking to myself. I know you miss them. They're here. They're not going anywhere. They'll be back. When you wake up in the morning, that's the first thing you're going to see is your parents. I promise you. I'm here. They love you. I love you.
That's beautiful.
So
I want to go back. That was so beautiful.
Yeah.
And you left yourself just for a moment and you started talking with the little girl.
Yeah, because I love her so much.
So let's go back to you for a second. So that 5-year-old, okay? So that young girl, there's you. And I want you to try to see yourself for just a moment without that story that you're unworthy. And what do you see as you at 5 years old? What do you see about yourself without that story?
Just an innocent, helpless child who doesn't know anything. She's naive. She's defenseless, and she just wants to be loved. She hasn't done anything. There's nothing wrong with her. Yeah. It's just her circumstances are like she's just dealt these cards that she has to figure out herself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how do you see yourself in a way that's worthy? What's worthy about you at that period of time?
I mean, I've always had a fire about me, even when I was little. I mean, if I were to see myself as a kid and the stuff that I would say, I'm seriously, my mouth have gotten me in trouble so many times. But this fire, this strength, that I've always had, and, my inner child, my little child at that age had, to have that even after everything. Yeah, that's strength.
And do you have a
Resilience.
specific example of that? A specific moment that stands out where you showed that?
I think there was a moment, specifically this caregiver, I didn't want to go back to her. And I knew if I spoke up, I would get punished from my dad, or everybody would dismiss it and nobody would believe me because she's the adult, whatever she says goes, because that's the culture. And I remember it came to a breaking point where I was just like, I was just crying. It was time for me to go to her house. And I was like, I'm not going. I'm not going to go. And everybody's making fun of me. They're like, you look so ugly when you cry.
Oh, wow.
This is not, you just stop crying. And like, why are you making a fuss? Like, you're not being a good child because you're not listening. And I just kept saying, I'm not going. I'm not going.
And sink into that for a moment.
Yeah.
and try to feel and notice what you felt in your body in that moment.
I'm not doing it.
This sense of strength and like perseverance.
Yeah.
And what does that feel like in your body?
It just felt like freedom. Like I need to speak up for myself. I need to, yes, they're adults, and yes, we're taught to always obey adults and listen to our elders, but I don't feel good when I'm there. I don't like how I'm treated. And still a part of me felt like I don't deserve to be treated that way. Even if I feel unworthy, I don't deserve to be treated that way.
And just try to notice that for a second. Try to notice that there you are as this young girl, not just with this like fire and this strength, but this individuation.
Yeah.
Like that's remarkable. This little girl, who already is like able to question authority and look at the situation.
Hasn't changed. Hasn't gone away.
And if I ask you honestly, how has that actually served you in your life to be somebody who questions authority?
I mean, it's just where I'm at right now, right? I was the first girl of the family to leave home at the age of 18 to come to the US to go to school. Yeah. I mean, I have cousins who are younger than me. They're married. I have other family members that got married younger than me, already have kids, because that's what the culture outlines for you, right? Like your responsibility towards your kids and your husband is second once your responsibility towards your parents are fulfilled. And I didn't want that. That is not what I wanted for myself, especially seeing my mom and how helpless she was after the marriage fell apart. I saw the way she had to build herself back up from nothing. And I was like, that is not going to be me.
Wow.
That is not going to be me. And I knew that even at the age of 5, that is not going to be me.
There's a really powerful way to rewire your subconscious mind, and it is called cost-benefit work. It's something we practice a lot inside the personal development school. And the idea is that a lot of times we do things because at one point, the idea of doing them benefited us more than they cost us. For example, maybe you learned to abandon yourself as a child because that's why you stayed safe in your environment growing up. However, as an adult, years later, what once benefited you more because you didn't have many other options may be the very thing that's actually holding you back. In this part of the segment, you're going to see us go through the cost-benefit tool, trying to basically recalibrate our idea of costs and benefits. And this is something you can also practice at home if you are stuck on repeating a same old behavior when you know consciously that this isn't something benefiting you or serving you anymore. In order to do this, we look at 10 costs of the old behavior and 10 benefits of letting it go. But the real magic happens when we do the rewiring work, which means not just noting these things down, but actually recording yourself saying these out loud and listening back in a suggestible state for 21 days so it really hardwires these new neural networks into your brain. Can I ask you a really interesting question?
Please.
What would it have cost you in your life to not go through those really hard times?
I think I would have been back to where I was. Basically, no sense of self, no voice, or had a voice that would fire through, but just not being able to do anything for myself. And, this is a thing that a lot of people don't know about me. Growing up, I had everything that money could buy. We had a live-in help that was cooking and cleaning for us. Like, I never did laundry in my life. Like, I was very pampered. But I didn't have a sense of self to even make decisions for myself. And when I first came to the US, this is going to sound so crazy, but when I went out to eat dinner on my own, they brought me the check and I had no idea what to do with it because I never paid for my bills. Because my dad would always pay for stuff because that's how he provided and supported. That was the role. And I was like, what do they need? Okay, they need a card, and then them bringing the receipt back. You have to, like, all that process took me a few tries to figure out how to do that for myself. If I had not left home, I would not have been the person that I am today. And the person that I am today, I'm pretty much in love with her.